You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, as you can expect, there's going to be some Belichick fallout over the next several days, not to mention absolutely going to be on Bill Belichick watch as far as actually where he is going to end up. And I think there's several teams out there. By the way, the Commanders, supposedly, there's conflicting reports out there. Dan Graziano says the Falcons and Commanders are leading the charge to try to go get Belichick. And then on the very same day, at the same time, somebody else reported that the Commanders are saying they're not in on Bill Belichick. Now, let's talk about bad franchises, all right? And I think I said the other day when Mike Vrabel got fired by the Tennessee Titans, you know, what were they trying to accomplish? Are they trying to head down the road of, you know, being a Woody Johnson, Jimmy Haslam, David Tepper, Michael Bidwell kind of situation in Tennessee? Tennessee has always been stable, but now the daughter, Amy Adams, runs the show there. You know, her daddy died, and that's how she's got the franchise. Well, of course, she fired Mike Vrabel. And there started to be rumblings coming out, and a lot of people are like, you didn't fire him because of his Patriots Hall of Fame ceremony, right? Right? Because if you did, it's a terrible look. It's a terrible, insecure look from an NFL franchise that, word has it, he wanted to stay with. And, you know, anytime you fire a coach and then the coach immediately is talked about as being possibly the number one contender for every job out there, I mean, I wonder if moving on from Pete Carroll was part of, look, Mike Vrabel's going to be available. Jim Harbaugh is going to be available, you know. And so this has surfaced, and it's a terrible look if this is true, and multiple outlets are reporting this now, that the Patriots Hall of Fame ceremony pissed off the Titans. And Mike Vrabel, I mean, he's one of the greatest Patriot players ever. And he was being inducted into their Hall of Fame. And the owner of the Titans couldn't handle that? And look, there's a lot of fire around. Mike Lombardi talks about all the time that Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel didn't get along. Well, they have tried to, Carthon has tried to say, oh yeah, the relationship was great. But, you know, they interviewed a couple of people for that GM job, as you can expect, and one of them, and I don't know, I can't remember the guy's name right offhand, but it was somebody that Vrabel was very tight to. It would have been a very good working relationship. And even knowing that, Amy Adams Strunk decided to hire Carthon instead. I mean, you're asking for a fracture in your franchise by doing that. You already had a fracture because John Robinson traded away A.J. Brown, which pissed off your coach. So, let's look at this. There were a multitude of reasons why the Titans made the decision to move on from Mike Vrabel as head coach, and one of those reasons included the New England Patriots, per NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. Many have jumped to the conclusion that Titans general manager Ron Carthon made the decision to fire Vrabel, but according to Rappaport, that decision came from owner Amy Adams Strunk. Quote, this was an Amy Adams Strunk making the decision that was based on a lot of things, including what happened when Vrabel went to New England for the Hall of Fame thing. What do you mean what happened? Including not dispelling rumors in-house that he was going to be the Patriots coach. Why would he talk about another job around the office? I mean, that, if he did start talking about another job, I would think that would feel unprofessional, but okay. Quote, there was a lot there, and she clearly made the decision that she wanted to move on in the best interest of the organization. Vrabel might have raised more than a few eyebrows during the Patriots Hall of Fame speech when comparing New England to other organizations. Well, here's the thing. The word is that his speech pissed off the Titans. I guess really the owner of the Titans. All right? So we go over here to CBS News. CBS News. It was a pretty big trip for Vrabel, who spent the Titans' bye week. It was the bye week in Foxborough, grabbing a red jacket and taking his place in the Patriots Hall of Fame. He sat with Robert Kraft that Sunday when the Patriots beat the Bills at Gillette Stadium and addressed the crowd at halftime. While his time as a player in New England ended with a trade with the Chiefs, which didn't sit well with Vrabel at the time, he made it clear that weekend that his love for the Patriots never wavered. Quote, "I don't want you to take this organization for granted," Vrabel told New England fans. "I've been in a lot of places. This is a special place with great leadership, great fans, great direction, and great coaching. Enjoy it. It's not like this everywhere." I mean, he played for multiple organizations. Vrabel led the Titans to a disappointing 6-11 record this season. It was the team's second straight sub-500 season with Vrabel at the helm, after he led the Titans to the playoffs after 3 previous years. There were reports he wasn't seeing eye to eye with general manager Rand Carthon, but on Wednesday, Rappaport said the relationship was fine. I can tell you, like I said a second ago, nobody believes that. All right? Nobody believes that. And here's another little tidbit right here. Quote, "He never really addressed that internally, talking about his comments at the Hall of Fame. I know that didn't sit great with people there." I mean, that's crazy. You got absolutely one of the better coaches in the league, and you're mad over some comments he made during a Hall of Fame speech at a place where he was a player? God, that's a terrible look. I think that is a horrible look for the Titans franchise and their ownership. I truly do. I think that's a bad look. So, if that was the case, Vrabel may be very happy with moving on, and I don't blame him. If that really rubbed that many people and they're that insecure around the office the wrong way, it would be different if it was some random franchise, but he played for years for them and went into their Hall of Fame. Instead of sort of promoting that, which the Titans could have done, they'd have been like, "We want to congratulate, blah, blah, blah," and maybe they did put something out. But the fact that they didn't embrace that to give more credibility to their coach, instead of they took it as a slight, well, then maybe that's not such a great organization to be involved with. The Commanders and Falcons are expected to be discussed as the, quote, "most likely Belichick spots," according to ESPN's Dan Graziano, as speculation swirls about what's next for the 8-time Super Bowl winner following his departure from the Patriots on Thursday. Belichick, who spent 24 years in New England where he won 6 Super Bowl titles, has been linked to the Falcons in a separate ESPN report. Quote, "He will want to continue coaching and is expected to draw interest from at least some of the other 7 NFL teams that have head coaching vacancies, quite possibly the Atlanta Falcons." Now, CBS is saying the Commanders are not going to be in on Belichick, but I will believe that when they literally don't interview him. And that may be the only way. When he takes the job with the Falcons or the Cowboys or some other team, Bears, you sure you're good with Matt Eberflus with all of these damn coaches available right now? I still can't believe. I might have should have made a video on that. I'm baffled by that. I don't get it. He would have been gone right along with Luke Getsy, but that's another video for another day. Word has it, Todd Bowles may not be safe, Probably needs to win that game against the Eagles to for sure keep his job with Tampa. Mike McCarthy, walking on eggshells. All right, in Dallas, that's another option. Mark Davis. I mean, look, I've made a couple of videos. Mark Davis wants to have a sit-down with Bill Belichick, which is shocking after Josh McDaniels. I'm shocked. I mean, you want to do the Patriots way thing again? But then again, are the Raiders going to interview Mike Vrabel? Because I can't imagine they won't interview him too. You know? I mean, look, I know that there's a lot of fire around. The last two candidates are Harbaugh and Antonio Pierce. And I've got a video coming about Antonio Pierce because it's getting even more dangerous for the Raiders now. They're playing with fire the longer they go without hiring the guy. But if you're looking for a coach, isn't it ownership malpractice to not interview Mike Vrabel? What about the fact that you're looking for a player's coach and there's a lot of fire out of Seattle that Pete Carroll wants to keep coaching? I mean, he's arguably the best player's coach in the NFL. You don't want to interview Pete Carroll? Really? Really? Okay. I mean, don't even want to bring him in and have a sit down with him. Interesting. I'd see. I like Antonio Pierce too, and obviously you guys know how I feel about Harbaugh. But I think when it comes to these guys that have been coaches for a long time, and obviously Pete's got national championships and he's got a Super Bowl ring. If you're an NFL owner, I feel like you owe it to your organization to have a conversation. Belichick, Vrabel, Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh, you got to talk to all these guys because so many of these coordinators, they flop. They flop. And then for whatever reason, a lot of times it's like a special teams coach or an assistant coach that was with a team that becomes successful, John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin kind of thing, right? Some of these coordinators can't work on both sides of the ball, can't work with the organization as a whole. Why that is, I don't know. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. The Titans. Ownership had them a little tizzy about Mike Vrabel and the Patriots. If I was Vrabel, I'd be glad to be out of there now. Plain and simple. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.